I'm gonna start this video by telling you this is not the video I intended to make. I thought I had a lot of really good footage of how to replace that camera. I've got a little bit of good footage, but what I'm making now is to talk about the failure of our original Voyager camera that came with our Airstream and replacing it with this Visionworks HD camera, kind of what the difference is between the two, as far as we've been able to tell so far. And I'll talk a little bit about the install. I was able to do most of the install standing on the bumper. I did end up renting a ladder since we don't have a collapsible ladder that we carry with us, so that I could do a little bit of the more intricate work up there without having to hold on to something. Basically, so I could use two hands. Bringing down the old Voyager camera is pretty simple. It's 3 bolts on either side of the camera, and that's to loosen it from the mount. Once you've done that, then mine was held up with 2 sheet metal screws that attached it to the outer aluminum skin. From that point, the wire was exposed. I was able to feed it out. There's a little grommet there that I actually had to kind of peel apart. But once that grommet was out, I was able to feed my wire through so that I had access to the power. So that wasn't super challenging to get all the power and everything figured out. The new camera that we have is a Visionworks HD. It comes with a lead, so that lead then connects to the power, and then basically has a connection onto the camera. That way I don't have to hold the camera up there the whole time. I just have to get that lead connected first. Once I had that part complete, it was time really to mount it. And I'll say there were a couple of things that created a little bit of a challenge. Number one, to get that lead through where the connection is, was a little bit larger than the gap that was created for the Voyager install. So I did have to drill out the skin a little bit to get that connection through. Past that, I put 4 new holes in the skin to hold the mount for the Visionworks HD camera. After that, I grabbed some lap sealant, put it up there, made sure that everything was kind of covered so that we don't have any leaks into the trailer. So the new camera is actually up here. I've got the antenna pointed kind of the wrong way right now. And the reason I have that pointed the wrong way right now is that we are going to put a remote antenna on this to give us better signal while we're driving. We would say generally this is a better signal to begin with than the Voyager ever was. The monitor is a better quality picture than the monitor on the Voyager ever was. But we still have some room for improvement to use it as a rear view camera while we're driving. The other thing I want to point out is that the angle of this camera is not quite as steep as the Voyager camera. So the Voyager camera, you could almost see the bumper. And with this camera, you can see up to about 2 to 3 feet behind you, which isn't a really big deal for backing up, because if we're backing up alone, it's stop, get out, look, take a look at what's around you, all that kind of stuff. If we're backing up and we're together, one of us has a radio in the truck and one of us has a radio out here to tell us kind of where to go. What you saw at the beginning of this video was how bad our Voyager had gotten. We were constantly losing signal, the camera was constantly resetting, and we did diagnose that it was not a power issue. We had come back to the camera a few times, kind of played with the wiring to make sure it was all hooked up and no issues there. So we were having really bad signal issues to begin with. When we were in Cumberland Gap, it completely failed. It would not turn on at all. We had 0 signal and 0 picture. And that was the point at which we had to replace it. I actually started the replacement while we were in Hershey, Pennsylvania, and I had intended to do it there. I just didn't have the right motivation while I was there to get it done. What we found so far, and I'll put in a little bit of video of this, is that we do have some signal lag. We've had a couple of drops, but not a lot. We've got a little bit of lag here and there, but generally a better picture and better signal. Once we put in the remote antenna, we believe that we'll have kind of 0 issues.
Well, it took us a couple of weeks, but we did get our new camera installed. So now you can see our new monitor is up there. But something that I guess because of the way we mounted ours, we didn't use everything in this box. So I wanted to kind of say, in addition to everything like the camera, Visionworks does give you kind of a mount for the The monitor, if you've got Furrion, that's your plate to mount. Power for the monitor here. A windshield mount, which has this little T-slot thing. That's what we did, is we actually replaced the T-slot with one from Amazon with a 1-inch ball on it, so we could put it on the RAM mount. These are just mounts for the monitor. Power if you had Furrion before. Power for the monitor if you want to use a 12 volt or a cigarette adapter. Splicing. This one appears to be like power for the... Actually, it looks like it's power for the camera. So I guess if you wanted to use AC power for the camera, you can. And then the last thing they give you is this cup holder mount for the monitor. So you can put it in a cup holder if you want.
That remote antenna is going to end up sitting pretty close to our front skylight, maybe even a little bit in front of it. And so it'll run just from the back of the trailer all the way up there. We've already gone through the dash upgrade that we did, but the new monitor does not sit on the windshield anymore. The new monitor is right here. We did decide on a 5-inch monitor, which is 2 inches smaller than the monitor we had. For Visionworks, they have a little sun hood on it. I think you can see there. And on the 5-inch screen, that is not detachable. On the 7-inch and the 10-inch screens, you can actually add and remove this as you wish. All the Visionworks monitors have 2 antennas on them. We're choosing right now to use both antennas, though we did talk to them and it's not necessary to use both if your signal is good. Once we move the antenna for the camera forward on the trailer, we may end up only using just one of those. Overall, I think we're pretty impressed with the camera itself as well as the monitor. We're happy with it, but we do see room for improvement with the signal. That signal may be our problem because we do have solar on the roof. There is a lot of electronics up on the dash here as well. We typically have both of our phones up here. We have a camera up here to take video while we're driving, as well as a dash cam right next to it. In addition to that, we also have our toll transponder and our tire minder up here for TPMS. Like I said, we're pretty happy with it right now. We were super unhappy with the Voyager. I know people that use them and have had no issues. We were just having so many issues with it, and in Cumberland Gap, it completely failed and we had to do something. Hopefully some of the video I took while I was installing it is helpful to you if you're choosing to install a Visionworks HD camera. And generally, if you're looking to replace your camera, that this was helpful for you in making a decision for Visionworks or any other brand. I've heard really good things about HaloView as well. We have a friend a couple of weeks ago that had installed a HaloView with the remote antenna and has 0 issues as well. Ford does make their own rear view camera that you can connect straight into the monitor here as an auxiliary camera. We've chosen not to do that simply because we use ours as a rear view mirror while we're driving with the trailer. And that would mean that that would be on the screen while we were driving. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. We're happy to answer any of those. Thanks for watching.